But you can see when he's on the floor, the whole offense seems to pick up their energy.
Here's Simmons. He's coming off a 19-point game against New Orleans. 3 on the clock. The 76ers need to get off a shot, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. LA's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And James with the basket on the assist.
Man, you got to respect and appreciate how polished LeBron is inside. I mean, he really excels at creating opportunities for himself close to the rim.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Ball kicks to LeBron. And Embiid with the block.
Yeah, good energy and awareness that time by Embiid to deny that shot.
Kuzma can't get it to go. The 76ers lead. Here's Simmons. Ball with the rebound.
You must make that one. Even with the defense present, these are shots you have to finish.
Here's Butler, and it's Butler with the jam.
And Kevin, once Butler has some speed behind him, watch out. You know he's looking to throw that thing down.
The 76ers leading by 4. It's Redick on the wing. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Here's Simmons. It's good. Simmons got 6 points.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Ball, the pass to Kuzma. Here's McGee. That shot, no good. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Here's Embiid. It's blocked.
In addition to being superb on offense, Ingram is also a ridiculously good defender. I mean, his long reach really allows him to come up with a good number of blocks.
And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And so here is Philadelphia. 6-point lead. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul. Tyson Chandler is checked in for JaVale McGee. Here's LeBron. And yes, it's good. He has 6.
And an example of using momentum to your advantage. LeBron inviting the contact, and he comes out the winner.
Here's Johnson, and Chandler sends it back. The drive by James. Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up.
Yes, he does. That's what we call helium. Yeast rising and helium floating.
Here's Muscala. Tries to save it, and the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. The Lakers making a switch here. Hart's checked in. 26 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. It's Ingram on the wing. Second shot opportunity, and Chandler with a nice bucket inside. And that makes it a tie ball game.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
And so the first quarter comes to a close. Both teams scoring well, but it's all tied up. Live from Philadelphia. Tough nose Jimmy Butler talks about the mantle of being a franchise.
Call me a leader, all-star, whatever you want to call me.
And that's what he worked for. And he works as hard as anyone, Greg, in the NBA.
And you see that competitiveness and desire in his play.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And guys, what's your take so far in Philadelphia?
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Yeah, exactly. Right from the start, Greg, they were looking to get out and run, sprinting to their opportunities.
Chandler and Embiid are together down low. Simmons runs the show with Redick at the 2, and it's Butler in at the 3. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
And good passing setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
And LeBron's first step at that size, the best I've ever seen.
Well, you just love the way that J.J. Redick moves on offense. He keeps his defender occupied, constantly on the lookout for operating room to get his shot off. He comes off screens extremely well, uses angles and craftiness. Terrific off-the-ball movement by one of the best shooters in the league.
Chandler with the steal. Here's Simmons. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. The Lakers have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. LeBron against Butler, and there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul. And for Redick in his movement on offense, Clark, most know him as a shooter, but he does so much more.
Yeah, he does. He moves well without the ball. He's a better defender than he gets credit for. He's a guy that can put it on the deck now and drive when you close out to him poorly. His game has grown really quite nicely, and we know what he is as a shooter, a laser.
Chandler finds Simmons. Here's Embiid, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Here's LeBron. He had a career game last time out, bucket after bucket. Pass to Zubac. The kick out to LeBron. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Right block shot. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got 5 rebounds tonight. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks.
Usually free throws are a formality for him. I didn't expect that result when he stepped up there.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And last season, not a beat missed for KCP. Even after switching teams, he played his same brand of defense. Unfortunately, the lack of bite shooting the ball stayed the same as well. That's an area he's got to improve.
And the Lakers making a change here. Beasley's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And Clark, for KCP, you play him for the defense and just hope he helps you out on the offensive side in some way.
Well, you know, he's never been an efficient scorer, Kevin, but you don't need him to be. I mean, the steals are always going to be there, and he's a nuisance on that end of the floor and can guard just about any perimeter position. He's also improved his rebounding, which allows him to help in a lot of ways. So this guy defensively on the glass, he's a winner and a keeper.
And Jimmy Butler's a very physical wing, as we know, Greg. Goes about 6'8", 240, and he can D up almost any position.
And the strength to deal with forwards, the quickness to cover guards. Also, he uses that strength to attack the rim and get himself to the line.
And they take the lead. 8 points for Joel Embiid. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the 76ers.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Chandler kicks to Simmons. He's all alone. Here's Caldwell Pope. Finishes the break with a slam.
KCP is a guy who can pull up from 3 just as easily as take it to the cup. He's a tough cover in transition.
They get a hand on it. Chandler dishes to Embiid. Outside for Redick. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And there's the call on Chandler. That is his first foul of the game. Wagner, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Ball stolen. Korkmaz passes to Johnson.
A steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant and creating havoc out there.
That one falls. And the 76ers lead by 2.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking, jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
Wagner, good.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Ben Simmons putting in some incredible work. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. There was a lot to like about his first 2 quarters in this one. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway? And that does it for our half.
Downtown Philadelphia, as seen from high above. Welcome back to the Cradle of Liberty, as we like to call it here on 2K, here in eastern Pennsylvania. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
Clark, you once worked for the Indiana Pacers, Vice President, Player Relations, and really had your fingerprints on a lot of part of that organization. Could you see yourself going back to an NBA front office role?
I don't anticipate that. I love what I do as a broadcaster. I really feel as though I'm right where God wants me to be. Currently had a wonderful tenure with the Pacers, 32 years between playing, broadcasting both radio and television, and then 4 years in the VP of Player Relations role. Phenomenal relationships with a number of people, but no, I think that chapter for me is in the rearview mirror.
I speak for everyone playing the game, watching the game. We're glad you're in broadcasting, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, partner.
Starting off the second half, here's Luke Walton's 5. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. Brandon Ingram's out there with Ball, and it's LeBron in at the 3. And you look at Lonzo Ball, and mostly his offense stands out. But you know what, Clark? He is a strong defensive player as well.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he's got a nice combination, Kevin, of strength and length, which allows him to stay in front and disrupt opposing players. Really good instincts on and off the ball, which I think is why he's able to come up with blocks and steals from his position. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is at the defensive end.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Plenty of daylight on that shot.
The timing, the rhythm. Kuzma really does a nice job catching the defense off guard with those catch-and-shoot jumpers.
Butler in the corner, drills the three-pointer. Butler's got 9.
Nothing but money for him to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
Here's Ball. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Wasn't the easiest of rookie years last season for Lonzo Ball. Came in with a lot of hype and high expectations. Yet, you got to keep big picture in mind. Overall, a solid start to his career, and he showed why he is viewed as such a promising prospect. Can't give up on this kid yet.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Lakers trail by 5. Oh, that's offensive interference. And the 76ers call time here. And if you're wondering where the points are coming from here tonight, here's a breakdown in the scoring between the front court and back court tonight for the 76ers.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this backcourt has kept them in the game.
For Philadelphia, they have gone 2 of 4. He hits the technical free throw.
Well, guys, when you talk about some of the great turnarounds for a franchise in NBA history, the process for the 76ers has paid dividends. They went from 10 wins in 2016 to 52 wins last year.
Embiid. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Poked away and stolen by Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Simmons doing a nice job there mucking up passing lanes and making life difficult for the opposition. And that's a mindset, but also activity and energy display.
Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Kuzma. To the inside, and the dunk by Embiid.
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
And the steps, Clark, the 76ers have taken. It's only the beginning.
Yeah, this is really the ideal situation to have if you're the Sixers. I mean, this team's built to last and still has good draft assets and flexible cap space. I mean, come on. That's an abundance of riches there.
Here's LeBron. Gets that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Yeah, I like how James takes it to the defense. Even if they're all over him, he just muscles it past them.
Timeout called, the 76ers. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
And the basket is good. James has got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, and he's connecting on a lot of his shots here, shooting a high percentage from the field, really giving his team a boost.
Simmons. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Ben Simmons, such a force when catching the ball, moving at the rim. But you know, Clark, he can get there on his own just as well.
Yeah, he's got a great knack for being able to get where he wants to with the ball. His size and strength and agility certainly helping him. And he understands angles. This guy is just a jump shot away from being virtually unguardable, in my opinion.
Kuzma against Chandler. And it's Simmons. That time on the assist by Chandler. And that's 18 points for Ben Simmons. Here's James. Again, Los Angeles.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, definitely on the roll right now. Seems like everything he's throwing up is going down.
Simmons finds Embiid. And it's LeBron James with the rebound.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And the leadership James brings to this team is incredibly valuable. When things get tight, they look to the king to provide for them.
And Greg, what else is there to say about LeBron, one of the best to ever play the game?
I mean, he's been the face of the league for so long, and he's done a tremendous justice to that title. Has always played with so many expectations and really has met every single one of them. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see a guy like LeBron in the NBA, and he's truly been a generational talent.
Lakers last season hoped to compete, but that wasn't the case, Clark, as we saw. They'll look to do better this season.
Well, you look at last season, end of the year, 11th in the West, learned about the direction they'll grow as a team, and played at a very high pace, and I can expect Showtime to be back in full swing this season and in the coming seasons.
Lakers trail by 7, 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the dunk by LeBron.
And LeBron is a force rolling to the rim. When he's diving inside, he's looking for the punch.
Now, here's McConnell. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Now, here's McConnell. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
And that's how you move the basketball. Awesome passing leading to the bucket.
And stolen by McConnell. And so it's Philadelphia bringing the quarter to a close. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
That's right. I mean, that's not his primary duty, but when the situation calls for it, he can do it and does it well.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Amir Johnson is out there with Muscala. And it's T.J. McConnell. And it's Korkmaz in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. And the 76ers lead by 9.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, nobody can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
Big group substitution here for the Lakers. JaVale McGee's checked in for Chandler. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Lance Stevenson. Brandon Ingram, he's checked in for Josh Hart. And Ball subbed in for Caldwell Pope. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the 76ers?
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
McGee with the block. And here's the fast break. Ball leading the way. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Muscala. Kicks it out to Johnson. Now, here's McConnell. He's guarded closely. It's good. Muscala's got the lead up to 11 now for the 76ers. Hey, Clark, which players, and veterans in particular, do you think have done a great job of adapting their games to remain effective?
Yeah, you know, these lists are pretty long, but I think of Sean Livingston. Remarkable talent, went through some injuries and has found a home at Golden State. Trevor Ariza has been a terrific role player on a couple of teams in his career. Impact player at both ends. You think about Paul Millsap, a guy who has been able to transition to a couple of different teams and provide leadership and great production. So those guys come to mind.
McConnell passes to Johnson. Ball's knocked loose.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. That's good from Ball.
You know, you look at Ball's size and speed and confidence, very impressive. An exciting prospect who I think has an all-star future.
McConnell kicks to Muscala. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
Here's McConnell. He dishes it to Muscala, and stolen by Kuzma. Fast break, here we go. Here's James, and the dunk by James.
LeBron James throwing it down is a thing of beauty, an incredible athlete who makes dunking look as easy as it can look.
And the 76ers call time here.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
And it's a completely new group here for Philadelphia. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. Even though they're ahead, he said, these guys are capable of catching fire. They can score a lot in a little. I don't want to see anybody easing up until the final whistle. Guys.
Chandler with the steal. Timeout called the 76ers. chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Joel Embiid.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
Tell you what, the offensive game of Embiid, ridiculous. He can score in so many ways.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Jimmy Butler. It's the first, and that narrows the gap to 7. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And good aggressive basketball on that trip, drawing the foul, converting the free throws, and then also narrowing the gap.
Simmons finds Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
And Embiid loves to punch it now. The defense can't let him get that kind of position inside.
Embiid with the steal. Deflects the pass. Stolen by McGee. And Kuzma has it in the corner. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball.
Kyle Kuzma, a man you can trust in the clutch. Big spots, big shots.
And the dunk by Embiid.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut to just 5 points on the basket from Ball.
And Ball is one of those guys, Kevin. He wants the rock in his hands in these key situations because his teammates expect him to deliver, and he knows that he can.
Such a strong finisher for a floor general.
He was up high, and he came down hard. Exquisitely done.
That's the uncanny ability he has to find a teammate for an easy basket or get one himself.
Boy, he'd sure like to have that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving freebies at the line.
It's tipped, but they get it back. Butler passes to Redick. Back to Butler, and stolen by LeBron.
Not completely over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, this one is ready to be put on ice. Not a whole lot they can do from here.
And you got to get out in front of James in transition. When you don't, he will punish you with that speed.
And Redick kicks to Butler. Off target from outside.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Ball, the pass to Ingram. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Indeed it is. Love seeing him deliver when they need him most. No fear taking these shots. I love it.
To tie it up. Ooh.
To tying it up.
Yeah, you know, and after the way they fought back into it here in the fourth, that would have been a big bucket for them.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to block any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
Here's Ball. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. So it's the 76ers taking the win in a close game.